So hello, I am Josh. This is me, back when I could go places that weren't my house. And I am here to talk about Corsica. So this project I'm working on. So random numbers as a service. So why do this? Why Corsica? So I've always been interested in random number generation. And pseudo random number generation. It's a really, really cool problem. It's something super interesting in math and computer science. There's so many interesting applications, but there's also so many big gotchas. So it's a really cool topic. And honestly, just want to make sure. Yeah, okay. Honestly, random numbers come up all over the place. So if you've done any sort of scientific computing, if you're in data science, if you're in research, comes up a whole lot. Game development, rolling a dice, etc. Even in finance, who knew? Just generating random numbers. So it's such a common thing to do in all of these areas. So many problems come down to generating of some random numbers, or in some case, a lot of random numbers, many hundreds of millions even. So the catch is, aside from what is random and that whole philosophical, chestnut, it's actually very computationally expensive. So generating random numbers is something that most methods require a lot of computations. Computers are fast and powerful, but if you need to generate a lot of random numbers, it's still very difficult. And there's a lot of pitfalls. It's very tricky to come up with something that's deterministic. So like, a function, you give an input, get an output every time, that can generate something random or something that seems random. And on that note, don't write your own pseudo-random number generator in production. I was just talking to Daniel about this. It's a cool hobby project, really fun, but don't do it. Don't roll your own crypto. Don't roll your own random number generator. Trust me, don't do this. Unless you are extremely smart, don't do this. So that's kind of random number generator. But okay, but like, why call this project Corsica? I'm a big guy into naming. So Monte Carlo methods are a form of simulation that use random numbers. So you generate, generally speaking, a lot of random numbers. It's a very common thing in scientific research and data science. You may have heard Monte Carlo methods, Monte Carlo Markov chains, those sorts of things. But Corsica, and so Monte Carlo is obviously the area of the gambling paradise in Monaco, where the high rollers go, and that's in some ways why Monte Carlo methods are called that, because there's an element of randomness in it. But Corsica is kind of close to Monte Carlo. So Corsica is an island area of France. It's a few hundred kilometers away from Corsica, or from Monte Carlo. So it's very close to Monte Carlo, but it's also its own thing. It's its own island. So I thought this was a very elegant way to describe this project. So, but like, we're here to talk about Python, right? So let's talk about Python. So I built this little project in Python purely. So this was a good excuse for me to use FastAPI to actually build out the API. And this cool hosting service, Deta, which is a hosting service which is designed around deployments and microservices. So making deployments very easy, but also hosting Node.js and Python microservices. And I decided to use pipenv for scripting and dependency management because I don't know, I'm cool like that. But I want to talk about the first two. I want to talk about FastAPI and I want to talk about Deta. And I'll show a demo in a moment, kind of just walking through some of the cool things in FastAPI and in Deta as well. So what do I currently have? Excuse me. So currently, the idea of Corsica right now is there's a few endpoints. And these endpoints return random samples, like a list of random samples. So I have the uniform distribution, I have the normal distribution, and I have the exponential distribution. I've chosen these three because you can basically get a whole lot of other stuff out of them. You can generate other continuous or other probability distributions using these things. You can also sort of scale these out pretty nicely. And these three themselves have a lot of uses. So I thought let's start with the greatest hits and kind of work from there. And that's it. So thank you for this portion of things. So here is the project. So this is the service itself is Corsica.joshgrant.online. That's me. And the GitHub. So this is currently free open source. So take a look at it. Let's look at some code, shall we? Oh, no, not going to touch that. I've learned the hard way, don't touch the control key in Remo. It's bad things will happen. Okay, so this is my app, very simple. If you've used Flask before, this is going to look kind of similar. This is my app entry point with some additional information. So instead of Flask, I'm using FastAPI. And let's take a look at some of these endpoints. So here's a sample endpoint. So this is an endpoint for, for generating uniform random variables. So I want to point out a couple things that I like. One is that so FastAPI knows how to translate Python dicts, like just plain Jane Python dictionaries, into JSON responses. So, which to me makes total sense. They're like almost the same thing. They're very close. So you don't have to kind of have a wrapper. You don't have to use the JSON package. You don't have to use JSONify from Flask. FastAPI will just handle that kind of elegantly for you. So like that's pretty cool. You still also get this decorator feel, kind of look and feel. So if you want to say, this endpoint, I'd like to support get, I'd like to support post, I'd like to support other things. You can still use decorators. It's really great. So there's the JSON aspect of it. Then there's also like the other kind of cool thing. So in comparison to Flask, with Flask, the general idea is for your endpoint, you might have optional parameters, you might have values that you pass in. And so those end up in a request object. And then you have to kind of take that request object within your function body and sort of manipulate it or do error handling or what have you. So FastAPI goes in a different direction and says, actually, we're going to FastAPI is going to understand these things as function parameters. So you can kind of just pass in. So I have this list. So for example, I can return a size list of uniform random variables. So if I want 10 or 25 or 30 or 100, I can pass that in here. And then I can also scale it out. So if I don't want just the kind of standard unit normal or unit uniform, maybe I want to pass in an A and B, I can do that too. So that's kind of like a quick and dirty overview of the FastAPI part of things. So let's look at Deta. So Deta is actually super cool, and this is kind of what got me really excited. Because again, my day job is, not this. It's doing test automation. So like, I want something that's fast and easy to get up and running with. So with Deta, there's some kind of curl that you can implement. So I was just chatting with some folks before the talk with this. There isn't really like a config file you have to have. There's no shell. You don't have to log into like a service or like a web portal. You don't have to do any of that. You just download this CLI tool, Deta, and and you can do things like this. So for example, I'm gonna try this out. So go app. Hello. I've just added this brand new endpoint, just hello. So we go curl Corsica Josh. Fine. Hello. You know, I'm going to get back my found. I'm going to get back some 400. I go Deta deploy. Oh, deploy. Deta deploy. So right from my project, I don't have to mess with any configs. I don't have to log into anything. And this might take a moment. So in that whole time of trying to figure out time, I've been able to deploy a new change. So like, that's pretty cool. So that's it. So that's kind of the quick and dirty of my project. Thank you for listening to me.